Hello friends, today we are going to start new lesson which is sound. In this lesson we are going to discuss what is sound, how is sound produced and how does sound travel. We hear different types of sound around us. Some sounds are enjoyable but some sound disturb us. It irritates us. But each sound has its own characteristic. This is the reason we can identify different types of sound. So let's begin with first point, which is what is sound. Similar to light, sound is also a form of energy. You may have seen window panes rattling when there is loud thunder. This shows that sound is a form of energy. Next point is how is sound produced. To understand this, I'll tell you to do one simple activity. Do with me. Okay, what you have to do? You have to keep your palm on your throat and say something. Okay, so if you keep your palm on your throat and speak, then you feel vibrations inside your throat, because right now I am feeling vibration. This is because when you speak, vocal cord which is present inside your throat vibrates to produce specific sound. Okay, now if you notice vibration, if you experience vibration, please let me know in the comment box. Okay, I'll give you one more example. See, if you touch ringing cycle bell with your hand, okay, then you feel vibration of that bell. And if you try to stop the vibration of the bell with your hand, then sound also stops. All this activity shows that sound is produced by vibration. Any object vibrates to produce sound. Anything, any source of sound which produces sound is due to the vibration. Vibration means to and fro or up and down motion of any object is known as vibration. So now it is clear that sound is a form of energy which is produced by vibration. Let's come to our third question. How does sound travel? See, sound travels from source to the observer in the form of sound waves. When you switch on TV, then TV sound travels from TV to your ears. Now, how does it travel? See, when sound travels, it requires a medium. When we hear each other, then we hear sound due to the air medium, right? So, sound requires a medium to propagate. To propagate means to travel. It may be solid, liquid or gas. So through this medium sound travels. On the other hand, if you take light does not require any medium. Both are forms of energy, right? Sound is also a form of energy and light is also a form of energy. But the main difference between sound and light is that sound requires a medium to travel, but light does not require any medium. Let's discuss some similarity and differences between light and sound, because most of the time questions are asked on these differences and similarity. So what is the similarity between sound and light? Both are forms of energy. But light does not require medium. Does not require medium. On the other hand, sound requires a medium. Medium is any material or a substance through which sound travels. So light does not require medium. That is why we get sunlight, right? In between the sun and the earth there is no medium, there is a vacuum. Vacuum means absence of any medium. When there is no air, no gas, no solid, no liquid. So in between sun and the earth there is a vacuum, means in space. If you go in space you have to carry oxygen cylinder because there is no air. But light can travel through vacuum and therefore we get sunlight. But sound cannot travel through vacuum. See, we can see moon but we cannot hear the sound on the moon. So if the question is, why can't we hear sounds on the moon? Answer is, Sound requires a medium, and in between the moon and the earth there is no medium. See, if you go on moon, suppose you and your friend go on moon and you talk to each other, then you won't be able to hear each other because there is no air medium through which your voice will travel. So sound requires a medium, light does not require medium. You can see exploding meteors, but you cannot hear sound because sound cannot travel through vacuum, but you can see, right? This shows that light does not require any medium. Another main difference between sound and light is that velocity of light is many times greater than velocity of sound. Approximately the velocity of light in air is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, which we have already discussed. This is the maximum attainable speed in the nature, and velocity of the sound in air is 340 meter per second. This is at room temperature. As the temperature varies, velocity also varies, but there is no effect of temperature on the speed of light. So there is a vast difference between the speed of light and speed of sound. During thunderstorm, if you observe carefully, lightning and thunder takes place at the same time and at the same distance, but first you see the lightning and then you hear the sound of thunder. This is because light travels faster than sound. I would like to give you one more example which shows that light travels faster than sound. See, we all watch cricket on TV. Okay, so when batsman hits the ball with his bat, then we hear the sound, right? Tuck. But first we see his movement, right? That he is hitting ball with his bat, and then we hear sound. Have you noticed this thing? Next time when you watch cricket, please notice, okay, when batsman is batting, then first we see that he is hitting the ball and then we hear the sound, tuck, like this, right? So all these example shows that light travels faster than sound. So sound requires a medium to travel, whether it's a solid, liquid or gas. Sound travels in the form of wave. If you drop a pebble in a puddle of water, then it creates a ripple of water waves. Ripple means circular waves. If you drop pebble, suppose here in a pond of water, then it creates circular wave surrounding this, right? So these water waves travels in all direction, right? Similar to this, sound wave also travel in all direction. From the source to our ear or to the listener, it travels in all direction. But the main difference is that these water waves we can see, but sound wave we cannot see. So now we understood sound requires medium to travel. But why does sound require medium? Why can't it travels without medium? Let's understand. Suppose this is some source of sound. Okay, let's suppose this is ringing bell, cycle bell, and when it vibrates, it produces sound. Then what happens when it vibrates? It makes another particle which are close to this bell vibrates. Due to this, the neighboring particle which are close to the source starts vibrating. Okay, and these vibrating particles make another particle of the medium vibrate. Again this particle make neighboring particle vibrates. So this process continues in all direction. Sound wave travels in all direction, like how water wave travels. So this process continues and it produces sound waves. In this way, sound, suppose this is ear, sound reaches to the ear from source. One thing you have to remember here, that when sound travels, sound is a form of energy. It travels from vibrating object to our ears, to the listener. So it is only transferred from the source to the ears by the particles of medium. But particles of medium do not move directly from source to our ears. Only they vibrate and they transfer energy. It is not like the particles move from source to ears and it carries energy with them. No, it's not like that. Only the particles vibrate. Okay, they vibrate and they transfer energy from this vibrating object to source. In this way, sound wave travels. Therefore, the sound requires medium. But light is an electromagnetic wave which can travel without medium. If there is no medium, it means sound wave will not travel, because it is the particle of medium, okay, which transfers energy from source to the observer. And one more interesting thing is that the velocity of sound is solid is greater than liquid, and velocity of sound in liquid is greater than gas. It means the sound has maximum velocity in sound has maximum velocity in solid and least velocity in gas, because the density of solid is more. Means if you consider 1 cube of solid, then it has more particles. The particles are densely packed. As there are more particles, therefore they transfer energy faster than liquid. In liquid, the particles are in the same volume, the particles are less, and in gas it is even less. Therefore, the sound has maximum velocity in solid than liquid and gas, because it is the particle which transfer energy, sound energy, and hence it has maximum velocity in solid. Suppose some train is approaching and we are standing at the railway station, but we know that we hear the sound which travels in air. But suppose the train is little far, so that we cannot hear its sound in air, and at this time if you keep your ear or if you touch your ear on the rail tracks, okay, don't do this activity, I will not suggest you to do this activity, but if you keep your ear close to the railway track, then you hear the sound which you cannot hear in the air, because sound travels faster through solid than gas. Don't do this activity, this is not safe at all. So this is how sound travels in different medium. In gas, the particles are loosely packed, there are very less particles, therefore it travels slowly. Our next point is properties of sound wave. We know sound travels in the form of waves, so we have to learn its properties. Before you learn the properties of sound wave, you must know what is pendulum. Pendulum, you know pendulum clock, right, in which there is one bob which oscillates. Here, as we have discussed, we say this particle vibrates. You can also say the particles oscillate. Pendulum, we have one metal bob, okay, which is suspended, means which is hanged with the help of some support. This is a thread. With this thread, this pendulum bob is fixed. This bob is attached, and if you push it, it oscillates, right, like this. So this pendulum oscillates about its mean position. This is called as mean position. Mean position means fixed position, and it oscillates onto the two different positions. These positions are known as extreme positions, and this is called as mean position. So if you give a push to this bob, then bob oscillates from a mean position to extreme position. We have to learn what is oscillation, then time period related to this pendulum. Oscillation, time period and amplitude. So these are the properties of pendulum as well as sound waves, because in sound waves the particle oscillates or vibrates. So we have to define their amplitude, time period and oscillation. One more property is there, which is frequency. And we are also going to solve numerical example on these properties by using one formula. So in next class we will learn all these properties. So if you like this topic, please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you.